What is up, Valorant fans? Welcome back to the Valorant Report of IHOLDSHIFT with you. And well, we're going to be talking about the PAX Arena Invitational, specifically as the groups were announced yesterday. We're going to get a little bit of a look as far as what teams are here, which teams are favorites, and which teams you might have to look out for as being potential sleepers in some of these groups. Reminder on the format, best of 3 matches in the group stage. The top 2 from each group will advance to an 8-team single elimination bracket, and we will get 2 days worth of group stage play to start things off on Wednesday and Thursday. Starting things off in what looks to be Group A. TSM, 100 Thieves, Built by Gamers, Homeless, and 100 Blifted. Definitely a strange name to be sure. But for Team Solo Mid, that's the team to talk about first and foremost, simply because, well, things have not really been going all that great for them in their previous 2 outings, as they finished top 6 and then top 8 at both the 100 Thieves charity event and then the Pulse Invitational back-to-back. They're going to need to bounce back here in this one, as this is a pool or a group, whatever you want to call it, that they should beat everyone else here, with maybe the exception of 100 Thieves. We have not seen 100 Thieves in quite some time, so that's the next team to really talk about. Considering that they did not make it out of their own group stage at their own event, we weren't really left with a great taste about 100 Thieves in our mouths last we saw them. But like TSM, they need to get out of their group here before we start really kind of raising eyebrows in both of those teams' directions, considering their recent results. And all of that said, Built by Gamers is a team that has showcased that they can surprise people and are continually getting better every time they play. Of course, if you don't recognize the name, this is the squad that was previously Code 7. They had just been picked up after they went 3-0 in their group at the Pulse Invitational. With Robwiz's potential to pop off with an operator on Jet and Payan's recent addition as the main cipher, they absolutely could surprise in this group. Do not sleep on Built by Gamers. Homeless is actually another team to kind of keep an eye on, because the big names here are Def and Psalm. They both had recently played with FaZe Clan at the T1 Ignition series, and now they'll be playing under the banner of Homeless. For 100 Blifted, this is mostly a stream team of Sony, Ninja, Lex. I know they've been playing a lot together though, so don't rule these guys out, even though they did get 2-0'd versus the Charlotte Phoenix in 13-9 fashion in both of the maps last they played at the United charity event a previous weekend. Going over to Group B, this is where T1, Envy, Way Too French, Echo 8, and Team Kefri reside. T1, outside of their own event, we actually have not seen these guys in quite some time. This is a group where, again, T1 should win, as I think the only real true sleeper in this group is Echo 8, and I don't really have a lot of high hopes as far as them potentially surprising a squad like T1. Team Envy, recently, Together We Are Terrific. These guys have shown that they can absolutely play with the big dogs, as they will not just play with them, they beat them too. Haven't had too many issues with teams like Way Too French or Echo 8 before, and I really can't see those issues cropping up now since they have been picked up with Team Envy. Way Too French is a fully Canadian team that comes in replacing the initial spot that was supposed to be there for FaZe Clan, who could not get a full roster together in time. But really, since losing Kohler, this team really has not done too much. They played okay in their group stage, but we haven't seen them break into a top 8 or anything like that yet, and I don't see that happening here. Echo 8 would be my actual sleeper in this group, as they did put together a pretty solid roster amidst all the controversy of what were 2 prospective members of Fox and Week that were supposed to be playing with these guys before they got caught hacking and banned. They actually have a roster that really could surprise. The problem with this is the recency of them being put together. Do they have the practice to go up against what you figure are going to be very well practiced and rehearsed teams like T1 and Team Envy? I can see them being Way Too French. I can see them beating Team Kefri. I don't necessarily see them beating T1 or Envy in this pool. Then Team Kefri, this is just Kefri. I don't really see these guys winning a map unless they're able to do it versus teams like Way Too French or Echo 8. Going over to Group C, Gen G, Immortals, Prospects, Mix Up, and Team Mango. This is my pool of death. This one's going to be super hard to predict. For Gen G, they're obviously your favorites probably coming into this one, as they finished 4th at the 100 Thieves charity event, 1st at the Pulse Invitational, and then most recently 2nd at the United charity event last weekend. Big progress from these guys since the T1 Ignition series, but they are in a pool with 3 other monster teams, one of which is Immortals. And since the T1 Ignition series, there have been a couple of recent disappointments with top 8 finishes at the Pulse Invitational and at the E United charity event. This is going to be a turnaround tournament for them as, well, it should be a turnaround tournament for them, but like I said, this is the pool of death, so I wouldn't necessarily say that Immortals are safe as an exit from this group, mostly because they got teams like Prospects and Mix-Up in the mix. Haven't seen Prospects play much since the addition of Tex and Whitmer, but I think that in the past they've shown that they can hang with some of the bigger teams that are listed above them, especially now that they're going with an unproven Immortals team in the last couple of weeks. But I'm actually looking at this mix-up squad as my big sleepers in this group. This roster has really been grinding. Thief is my guy to watch for the squad as the quote-unquote recent addition after this team dropped weak. And well, he locks down sites in ways that not a lot of other Cypher players are able to. So keep your eye on Cypher. Keep your eye on Thief from this mix-up squad, who very well could surprise some of these top-tier squads in this group. And then for Team Mango, bit of a tough draw here for these guys. Mostly content creators, streamers, and individuals that are put together. My hopes not so high for Mango to get a win in this group. Going over to Group D to finish things off here for you guys. Cloud9. Well, this team is the slowest squad to sign players this side of the Mississippi. But hey, if what they're doing works, keep going off of it, because coming off of a win and feeling hot from the E United charity and then finishing second in the Pulse Invitational, these guys are in a group of recently signed but unproven squads. This should be an easy win for them, with maybe the exceptions of Sentinels, who I feel like people are not necessarily talking about nearly enough, considering that they won the 100 Thieves event and then they finished third in a very impressive fashion at the Pulse Invitational. I've got these guys getting far in this one, mostly because this group I think is extremely weak. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, why? There's other big name orgs like Renegades and Complexity. Well, Renegades is formerly a squad known as Big Frames. Bergie CP2 nerfed Randy Savage and Winsome. These guys usually only participate in amateur tournaments in which they don't necessarily win convincingly, if win at all. I really can't see this team of Renegades getting out of this group, and kind of the same thing for Complexity, as most of this roster is a team what was known as Frames LOL. Ojai, Com, Frisco, XP3, and AGM are a team I was surprised to get picked up in the first place, considering the lack of significant results. I don't see this squad getting out of groups either. And then beyond that, for this Owl team, BCJ in my mind is the biggest name here. I would say that Group D is probably the easiest one to predict. Cloud9 Sentinels get through without much cause for concern whatsoever. In Group A, obviously your favorites there are TSM and 100 Thieves, but watch out for this Built by Gamer squad. They really could surprise. Again, they finished 3-0 in their groups at the Pulse Invitational. It was not an easy group either. For Group B, T1, Envy, the likely favorites, maybe some surprise for Echo 8, and then for Group C, pick your poison. I think there are 4 teams that very well could make an argument to get out of this group, although I do have some favor for Gen G to be one of the teams to escape. So watch out for Prospects and Mix-Up. They very well could do some work, pending if Immortals has not really gotten better over the last couple of weeks. Again, we'll be giving you guys the recap every single day, so if you're looking for competitive Valorant recap content, this is your place. Subscribe on the way out. Do it now. Hit the notification bell. Like the video if you liked the video. And until the next one, we hope that you guys keep holding it down. Later. Bye-bye.